I'm going to invite Kay up to the podium, where she will give today's talk and meditation.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you to our wonderful, beautiful musicians. I'm filled with the Spirit. I understand why people do this and yell amen and get jazz. Boy. I had 4 of these at home. I remembered to bring them today. Kathy, will you pass those out? And while she does that, I'm going to, oh, yay, boycott the news for a day or more. I'm in the or more category. How appropriate. Okay. So while Kathy's doing that, I just want to add to sending love and light to families in Texas. We send compassion and strength to those who are doing recovery and searching. We know that it is in times like this that our energy helps sustain. That's our work. What is mine to do? I can do that. Did anybody get one they just can hardly not tell us about? Yeah, I know. Mine's yellow. I wanted a blue one. It's just fun to stand up here and watch people read them and go, make faces. Okay, those are yours to use for a week. And then try to remember to bring them back. I'm not so good at that, but I brought them all. First of all, I want to let you know that Reverend Jennifer is fine. She is taking a long weekend. The 4th of July, and Ray's birthday was around this time, so she's with her family, and I'm always glad to be asked to plow through. She does this on purpose, I know. She's going to start a new Charles Fillmore book, and if you are familiar with Charles, he is dense, not like this kind of dense. His thinking is very thick and loaded with, so it's more than a light read when you have to pick up a new piece. But before we begin, I want to remind you of what we left last month with. Last month was all about faith and strength. And we read from Dare to Believe, which, by the way, if you don't have a copy of this, this is worth having in your library. This is worth having in my library. You might think about it. And we closed with this last time. From this time forth, accept the light and life of God as your own. Know you have God's Spirit, the Christ Spirit within you. Know that through this Spirit you can do all things. Dare to believe. And then she goes on to say, come into complete agreement with the words of truth that you speak. In other words, use integrity. Then you will know, as Paul knew, that you have put off the old man with his doings and have put on the new man. This is Charles, because it's all dudes. Ladies, we're in there somewhere. And that is being renewed into knowledge after the image of him that created him. Christ is all and in all. Dare to believe. So that's where we left off last week. And what is so important about what we learned is it's not a story, it's not a book about hoping or wishing it would happen, or it's heavier than that. It's actual faith, it's believing, it's knowing. Now that doesn't mean that doubt doesn't slip in, but when I keep my consciousness high and I keep the best in mind for me, then I know I don't just think, I know. Hoping is not the issue. And I often struggle with not being able to make sense of things, especially right now. After all, if I understood it, then I could unpack it, and of course I could fix it, right? I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, and perhaps it is the teacher thing in me, but if I look at it in lots of different ways and get it figured out, then I could find peace and be pretty smug about it. That ain't the way it is right now. So this helped a lot to remember that it is not my work to understand everything. My work is to know the truth and to live it and live in integrity, that the words I speak, I know, and that they are a reflection of the Christ Spirit that lives and dwells within me. It's not out there, as much as I want to figure it out. It's all here. So Jennifer decided that we would start a new book called Adam's Smashing Power of Mind. And Charles wrote this, and he wrote the parts of it. It was actually compiled from a bunch of speeches and mostly articles that were in the Unity magazine. You know that Unity started as the written word. And so the people who put this book together gathered a group of his articles. And I am so fortunate, or mother, I should say, had collected a whole bunch of Unity books. This is a first edition. And it's just so special. And it's written all over the place. Whoever owned this, it was owned by Ernest C. Wilson, whoever that is. But it's actually written on the outside, and this is an actual first edition. That's the best part of this book. I found it a tough read. But if you just take it apart and be patient, Kay, I am patience. I learned that if I ask for it, I get lots of practice coming at me. So I am patient. I affirm it. So last month was about faith and courage, and this month is about power. And power is inherent. It is one of the 12 powers that come to us just by being. All spiritual beings have power. And in the Dictionary of Metaphysical Terms, the revealing word is defined this way. Power is man's innate control over his thoughts and feelings. I always think of it like this, sort of, that I'm strong, physically strong, or I'm emotionally strong, I can take all of that. But it's also about the control and the power that I have in my mind. And as we move through this book, you're going to discover the importance of that power that isn't about energy power that is out there. It's energy power that's in here. Man is the power of God in action. To man is given the highest power in the universe, the conscious power of thought. We alone on this plane have the capacity for conscious thought, although I always worry about the cats. There is a universal creative force that urges man forward to the recognition of the creative power of his individual thought. This thought is elemental, and all its attributes come under the domain of man. When he cooperates with principle, man sits on the throne of his authority, and the elemental force is subject to him. In other words, we have total control of thought and energy. We inherit that by our being. Spiritual power is omnipresent. It is released in our body by spiritualizing our consciousness. This divine energy will surge through us as we erase negative thoughts. Oh, we have to do something. That's the do part. From consciousness and become with one God mind. So it's not a passive thing, this existence that we have. It's an active thing. Turn the page. So the very energy discovered by scientists related to atoms is present in all of us. Now remember, this book was put together in 1949. The science behind atoms was relatively new in those days. And what had we discovered about atoms? They blow things up. That's right. They have a lot of energy. There were choices made about how to use that energy, but it's important to remember that what this book is about is that relationship between what we manifest in energy and what we have capable of doing. It is this same energy known and used by Elijah in the Old Testament and Jesus of Nazareth. So Charles makes the distinction between Jesus, the man, Jesus of Nazareth, and the Christ. We know that Jesus' last name was not Christ. It isn't Jesus Christ, like Kay Brilliant. It is the Christ Spirit that was in this particular man that was manifested. The stories of Jesus show us that faith is required to produce a miracle. In his healing, he demanded that the person or people that he was working with demonstrate their faith. Any number of times in the parables, somebody brings him a sick child and he says, "Do you have faith?" It's a very simple question. He doesn't make them do anything. He just says, "Do you have faith?" And they say yes, and then guess what? Healing. Now these are parables. They're analogies, but they are a demonstration of pure power consciousness, capable power consciousness that we all have. We all have that same. It is the basis for the loaves and fishes. Remember that story? He's got the multitudes. They're following him around. They won't take a rest. They have 7 loaves and a few fishes, and they feed the thousands. It is about energy. Now, we understand that these are stories and they're demonstrations of faith, but they are ours to learn from. So Fillmore asks, what have thought concentration and the discovery of dynamic characters of the atom have to do with prayer? So he's asking, what are these two what appear to be very divergent concepts? What do they have to do with prayer? And he answers his own question by saying, prayer is the opening of communication between our mind and the mind of God. And where is that? Right here. Not right. Divine mind. I have it. Everybody has it. It is in our existence. So the first point he makes is opening our minds in prayer is energy. So opening our minds in prayer is energy. It is to be used. Prayer is the exercise of faith in the presence and power of the unseen God we call Spirit, and that creates mental attitudes that enter into and then form our prayer. It's part of what the prayer actually does. This very energy is directly related to then our physical health. I can heal, especially myself. Knowing the power within and understanding its relationship to our very being allows the body to respond to healing. Charles says that electricians do not always know exactly what electricity is. We've used this analogy before, although they use it all the time. Our need to have control and understanding are often inhibitors to my own healing. In other words, I want to know all about the electricity before I use it. I want to know all about the Spirit and the healing before I use it. That's just silly. We don't have to know anything. We just need to know. We use faith for healing and power and get marvelous results. Electricians use electricity and get marvelous results. And neither of them really know the nature before they get marvelous results. So don't wait. It's yours to use, so use it. Now, Charles then goes on to warn about the power and its possible misuse. So remember the day that these things were in new science. That would be new science during those days. This power is available no matter what. It is just as God is. It just is. This power just is. It holds no judgment, that's important, and is responsive and available at all times. It is our own ability to hold power in our domain that provides the energy for good works. In other words, when we know and use power for good works, we get, what did he say? Marvelous results. Marvelous results. No wonder Jesus said that when two or more are gathered, think about the energy. I have that all by myself, so think about what a group like this is like. And God is good all the time. That is a true statement. This is an omnipresent force, universal spirit, but not everybody agrees with its name, and it serves the purpose of being God under whatever name appears. Different nations and religions and people ostensibly believe the same basic thoughts, but they have various concepts of the universal spirit. That's why at the beginning of our services, we always acknowledge that there is more than one path. There are lots of paths to the one God. It is this power, energy, and understanding that unites us as one. So in days where it's really hard to look out on things and say, we are one, I don't want to be like him, I don't want to be like them, we can't be one, I deny that. It is the spirit in which we are one, no matter what the manifestation is. It is power, energy, and understanding that unites us as one. We are all the perfect image and likeness with exclusive ability to carry out all creative plans of the great architect. Through Spirit, we have the wonderful power of the works of our teacher and elder brother, Jesus of Nazareth, but even greater works. He said, "Be not afraid, for I am with you always." He said, "Have faith." They also said, "Ye are gods." The Father and I are one. We say, "God is my all. I know no fear." And we also say, wherever we are, God is. So there are three big ideas that they open the book with, and it only gets thicker as you wander through it, but not impossible to understand. We know that this manifestation is made up of molecules, and those are made up of atoms, and everything has life. It is not all that we see that makes life. We know that in the science and in the spirit. So opening our minds in prayer is energy. Prayer is the exercise of faith in the presence and power of the unseen spirit. And that makes our prayer. It says mental attitudes that enter into form our prayers. Don't forget our thoughts are prayers. All the time we're praying. So watch about what you're thinking. Use faith for healing and get marvelous results. Electricians use electricity and they get marvelous results, and neither of them know the real essence of the invisible. And through Spirit, we have the wonderful power of the works of our elder brother and teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, and we can do even greater works. And so it is. Thank you. And we will get still for our meditation. More to come on that. Jennifer can plow through it next time. It's pretty basic. I like to make fun because it's It's language that we don't use in our current day, but the concepts are pretty simple. It's us that make it complex. There is spirit, we have it. It has power, we can use it. We have faith, we know the truth. We live in integrity, and all is well. Okay, let's get still. Find a comfortable posture. Let the chair take the weight. Focus on your breath. We inhale, God is. And we exhale, I am. Set your mind upon an intention. It can be peace, it can be love, it can be joy. Find that spot in your heart. Bring that atomic energy to your heart space. It is strong. It is powerful. It is good. It is God. Hold that warmth. Find it as familiar. Be comfortable. Relax. Be comforted. God is love. I am love. You are love. And together, that energy, we are love. And as we get comfortable, send that energy out. Create whatever vision you have for where it should go. You don't have to direct it anywhere, just let it go. But if there is something in particular you want to center on, forward that love to that place. We are sending atoms of love. Energy. I am alive with the life of Christ. I radiate light with the face of Christ. I think with the mind of Christ. I see with the eyes of Christ. I speak with the voice of Christ. I love with the heart of Christ. I work with the hands of Christ. And I move with the feet of Christ. I am the Christ made manifest, and I radiate the light of truth. I am one with all beings. We are all interconnected. We are all part of the same divine essence. Be still in this silence. This is the truth. Be grateful at this moment. That long list of things to be grateful for. I am grateful. I am the I am. And as we move back into this physical place, allow your mind, your heart, that warm atomic place, to be present in this now, in this here. And we are grateful for this time together. And as you re-enter, notice your breathing. Gently open your eyes. Consider your meditation experience and know that it is good all of the time. Amen. And today's special music is Jeff.
Jeff G.
We are so grateful for you all.
I'm still waking up from the meditation. It's a song I wrote about 10 years ago when I was having a really hard time meeting someone special in my life. And I went to a Unity practitioner. She did a session with me, and it was using the law of attraction, but my assignment was to put myself in the way I would feel if everything were going my way. And so I wrote this song, hope you enjoy. It's called Home. And in case I wasn't hiding behind the music well enough last week, I made a really tall one. You guys ready? Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. candle in the window, there's shelter from the storm. The summer's bright and carefree, the winter's safe and warm. Sparrows in the springtime air reflected in your eyes. I'll still be there when the trees grow bare under the autumn skies with you. With you, I'm so happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Home tonight with you. There's a candle in the window, the shelter from the storm. The summer's bright and carefree, the winter's safe and warm. Sparrows in the springtime air reflected in your eyes. I'll still be there when the trees grow bare under the autumn skies with you. With you. I'm so happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Home tonight with you. So happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Home tonight with you.